Okay, so we've got an antonym question for number one. It says write an antonym for this word. Well, if you remember, guys, antonym means opposite. Now, let me change that. Okay, opposite. So you're looking for a word that means the opposite of unique. We know an antonym means opposite. That's not what we're looking for right now. We are looking for antonym means opposite. Draw a little arrow there because it's fun. Antonym means opposite. So what is a word that means the opposite of unique? Now I know you have a computer now. That makes things much easier. But try to think of it in your head first before you look it up. It's great practice for your just honestly brain function. So the word unique, well, you can't find the opposite of the word unique unless you know what unique means. So if you're struggling with what unique means, go ahead and look it up. What does unique mean? And then try to use it in a sentence. I love the idea of purchasing a unique car. What does that mean? Or if somebody says, that person has a very unique personality, what do they mean? So you need to find the opposite of what that word means. Okay, and then type that in as your answer. Okay, now look at number two. Let's go to number two. It says, circle the word that is not spelled correctly. Make that thicker and hold on one second, sorry. So we're on number two right now. What it says, circle the word that is not spelled correctly. We got there, and there. We got four there's. And I want to point out, I don't want to point it out. I don't want to tell you, but all there's, there are three there's. Those are homophones, remember. Words that sound the exact same, but they're spelled differently and they mean something different. All there's start with the same thing. I can give you that hint. So there's one that is incorrect. Now look at number three. We're going to correct these sentences. If you look at number three, it says snails, aphids, and mites nibbled on the plants in Aunt May's garden. I want to point out a couple things, and I'll type that in. We've got a list, and we also have a possessive noun. So be on the lookout for those things. I'm not saying that's all we have, but be on the lookout for those two things because you're going to need some punctuation here. We need commas and we need apostrophes. So be aware of that. Okay, look at number four. Look at number four. We've got, we like hot weather. We always goes to the beach to swim. Guys, we got to clean this up. We don't have a speech tag. We don't have dialogue. So we don't have to worry about that. But we do have to clean this up. Clearly this is not correct. And it's okay to make things two sentences if you want. You don't have to here. But it says we like hot weather. We always go to the beach to swim. It seems like you could add one word and make this better. So keep that in mind. I'm not saying that's the only thing we should do here, but keep that in mind. Adding a word here will make this sound correct. Also, I want to point out we've got a homophone issue. Just like the there. We've got a homophone problem. And then like always, we got a capitalization issue. And then we've got a verb issue. So keep that in mind too. Let me actually type that in. We have a verb issue. And I'm not saying that's it, but that's what I'm looking at right now. So keep those two things in mind. And then look at number five. We've got, does this word have a prefix or suffix? Well, what is a prefix and what is a suffix? You can't answer this unless you know what those two things are. And guys, a prefix goes before the word. A prefix, let me get rid of that and actually just use a regular pen. A prefix is attached before the word. A suffix is attached at the end of a word. So when you're looking at a word that might have a prefix or a suffix, you need to identify, well, what's the main word here? What's the root word? So let's look at this word up here correctly. If you look at the word correctly, what's the root or main word there? Well, it's correct. So correctly is a word that's had a suffix attached to it. I'm sorry, correct is a word that's had a suffix attached to it to change the meaning slightly. So the suffix here is that ly, but correct is the root word. Okay? So keep that in mind. And I think that is it. So have at it. And don't submit until you're really sure. Don't rush through it. Take your time with it, okay? And if you have any questions, always let me know. Okay.